And there is a question there. Type anything that I know. Okay, so I see some people saying hello to us. Hello, everyone. I'm really glad that you are with us today. Головань. I'm an LT consultant in Lingvist company, and the main sphere where I work, the main books which I work with are books from National Geographic Learning. These are the books that can inspire, that can bring real life to our classrooms, and today we are going to look at how to teach grammar to young learners based on the books from this publishing house. But also I hope that whatever book you use, you will find anything useful and some ideas that can help you present, practice, and produce grammar, help you and your learners produce grammar really efficient. Okay. So, learners' characteristics, who they are, what they like, what they want, and also try to build an effective strategy how to teach grammar to young learners. So each picture of a boy sort of playing in the snow. This is mainly what children do when it is winter, right? They are active, they are happy, they want to be to play, to be somewhere outside. And we have to remember about this when we talk to students, when we teach them. And don't forget that they are still kids, right? Okay, you're going to get a certificate on your email. You're going to have the thank you email with useful links for the next webinar, for the books, so different links. And there at the bottom of the email, there's going to be a button that is called My Certificate. If you press that button, you will the certificate opens and you download it on your computer. Please mind that all certificates are created automatically. So your name and your last name would be re-wrote when you register. Also, the system, it takes from 1 to 7 days to the system to send you certificates, but I hope you will get them as soon as possible. Well, this is about the certificates, and again, they are not going to be right after the seminar, but yes, but definitely you will receive them if you visit this webinar. Some words about our books. As you can see, National Geographic Learning presents different books for different ages, for different purposes. We have 2 amazing series for our children, which are called Our World and Wonderful World. They are a bit different. So different teachers can find these books useful. Our World brings lots of creativity, different crafts, lots of speaking and games, and gives us songs from around the world, and helps us develop creativity and serves needs of young children, because they play games, they do some really interesting crafts, they read simple texts, they sing songs, and teachers tell me that they really, both by the way, and teachers and children like to sing songs from the books. Wonderful World is also the series for primary learners, and they want these books give us more structured way to study in English. So there are some vocabulary list, exercises for practicing vocabulary. Also, there is clear grammar structures that are recycled all the time, and students have lots of practice these exercises, not just practice, but meaningful practice. So they will produce dialogues, they will make surveys, they will do their projects and present them with the use of the new structures. Also, it focuses on all the skills that we want to develop, like reading and listening and writing. Section with sounds and phonics is added to the second edition, so you can make sure that your students will study how to pronounce the sounds correctly, how different letters make different sounds, and so gradually, step by step, you're going to develop your students' reading and speaking skills. Let's move to the teenagers. There you can see different books. Also for different books that are useful language, so that our students, so it gives real models of real people and help our students understand who they are, who they want to reach, and understanding how to be successful. I think I have some problems with the audio. If you still can hear me, so yeah, the program writes that I have some problems with the audio. That's why I stopped talking. I just try to understand. No sound. Okay, I'll try to check. Now, all right. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know, really, because I don't know how to check it in different way. All right. Perspectives is a series for our students starting from the age of 14 years old, sorry, up to 18. They are based on TED Talks, and the children know how to give presentation. They learn a lot. They develop critical thinking, collaboration, and they read really interesting texts. And of course, together with all these 21st century necessary skills, you can develop their grammar and vocabulary. The series for adults also, they are really great. Some of them are like best-selling from really famous authors like Outcomes and Keynote. These ones, Keynote also as a perspective is based on the TED Talks, and Outcomes develops vocabulary, develops real life skills. So students after this course can go outside, go somewhere abroad and talk to people, even starting from the basic levels. Life is a general course that develops all skills, and also it's oriented to the students who want to pass IELTS. That's why some tasks are designed in the way that IELTS are designed. IELTS tests are designed also. So as you can see, every teacher can find something for him or for her and just check what it means to bring life in your classroom. So let's move on. I was happy yesterday and still today, because yesterday we started our initiative, the Speaking Club for Teachers in Kiev, for teachers of English. Our main aim was to give opportunities for teachers to talk to each other, not to students, not to talk about how to teach English, but to use English and to develop your speaking skills, because sometimes when we work with private learners, with low-level students, we simply can lose our level, and we don't have so much practice as we used to have, for example, at the university or whenever you studied English, right? So that's why we decided that twice a month we are going to invite teachers to our office and just discuss any problems, any topics that can be interesting. Yesterday we were talking about our hobbies, about our ambitions, about our dreams. These teachers, it was really lively event, and all the teachers were eager to say something. They were talking like more than an hour, discussing things, presenting their ideas, watching TED Talk, discussing it. And I guess that everyone who visited us yesterday got something, because I saw teachers taking notes about some words, about some expressions, just programs that we use to start the communication, some activities. So, and you can see here the schedule. The next meeting is going to be on December the 5th and then December the 19th. So if you are interested in this, you would like to talk, just to talk, not about teaching, just to remember that you are a human being and you have your own interests and your own hobbies and just life beyond the school. Welcome. We usually announce it on our Facebook page, so you will get the Facebook link at the end, and so join us. Now they are just in Kiev, but yeah, now they are just in Kiev. No buts, just. All right. And here is our Facebook page, National Geographic Learning Ukraine, where we share our news and also some useful materials for teachers that can be used during your lessons, like what to do with the photos, some tips from famous methodologists, some weird facts. So don't forget about the page, join this page, like this page, and get inspired every day. That's what we have to remember when we teach children, and that's why we need to think about the activities we give to our children. We have to serve different needs and different interests. So that's why we do some active tasks where children have to move. So, we do some tasks that help us to calm down, asking the children to calm down. Right, we try to attract the attention in different ways, just because everyone is different, right? Some more ideas. What type of a kid were you again? What did you like? Just, you don't need to type anything, just some reminiscing, something to recall. Just remember yourself when you were, it was like the time before New Year, your first grade, maybe your second grade or third, somewhere in this age from 6 to 9, from 7 to 10, right? What did you like? What did you do after school? Who did you talk to mostly? What were the teachers or the parents? Did you visit lots of different clubs, after school clubs, or did you just spend evenings doing your homework like I did? I remember it really hard. What did you like? Did you play a lot? Maybe you like to read. And I'm just going to check. All right. Yes, so now like we put on our students' shoes. Yeah, we are not the serious teachers who want the best for their children, who want to give them as much information as possible, as much practice as possible, right? We just recall ourselves. The school was took a lot, right, time in our childhood, but there was something apart from school. There were friends, there were parents, there were favorite cartoons, some heroes, there were games, and this life between lessons, during the breaks, was something where really serious stuff happened for us as kids, right? So now, with all these thoughts, let's proceed, let's continue. So what about our learners? Now, let's talk about how children learn. Now go back and think about your last lesson. What was the topic of your lesson? Probably you were talking about hobbies, maybe you were teaching some past simple, or maybe you did a test with your students. If it was about new material, how did you present it? If you did you use pictures? Did you tell story? Did you explain the rules? Right? Was the children as active as they are here in this picture? What difficulties were there? Were there some distractive children? Maybe it was difficult to find the right example for children to understand something. Probably it was difficult to hold the attention of the students, right? Activities. What was the most successful thing? Did your students like the final activity? What was the moment that you want to remember for a long time? And how actually you understand that it was a success? Was it your feelings? Was it students' activity? So some teachers wrote about present simple, using cartoons. Wow, nice. Using pictures and videos during the lessons, flashcards, formal letters. So I see people who wrote students, so you were writing formal letter. Was it successful? Did your students enjoy the process? Why am I asking this question? Is because when I am talking next, try to think about your last lesson and evaluate if this idea that I tell you, would it work? Or maybe now you understand that you would like to change something, or probably you think that no, that way was the ideal because my children are like that. So in this way, I would like you just to be critical to what is presented and try to understand in what way you can apply it in your language. Someone did the project. Wow. Present, past simple, present perfect, one of the toughest topic. Okay, thank you for your answers. I really like that people who join my webinars are really active. They're eager to share, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you. So, look at this picture. And what do you think it presents? Connecting to my question, how do children learn? And this difficulty understanding new language. They enjoyed the game. Oh, you see, investigating, right. Thank you for your answers, Irina. Yeah, so you see these children, they look at something. Do they look focused on what they're doing, or they just somewhere else? Of course, yeah, it's a simple question. Rhetorical, I would say they are interested. Why? Because they are active and it's interesting for them. That's why we need to create this interest in the task. When we start something new, don't forget about that. Don't just jump into it. Make something that can surprise your students, that can create an interest. So what can you do? Bring real life objects. And for children, this works all the time. Bring the real apple, I don't know, maybe the toy. Something that they can touch, they can see, they can smell. And this will definitely attract their attention and they will remember that. I still remember one of the lessons where we used socks to create dialogue. So I just put on a sock on my hand, and it was in a fun way, and we tried to recreate the dialogue that we were watching. It was something that I still remember, but like many years passed. I remember this lesson where English lesson at the, I don't remember which grade, but it was definitely primary school, and we were asked to bring our dolls and something from our dolls' kitchens, right? The cups and plates, maybe some plastic fruits, plastic food, and we were talking about cooking, yes, something. Of course, every time we do that, but for children, this is something that they remember. So I still remember that, right? That's what happens with our children also. Tell an interesting story, create an interest. Of course, when they are primary learners, it can be very difficult for them to understand you. So use some photos, maybe use your own photos. They would be really engaging in listening if they see your family. Of course, if you can share these photos with them. If they see your dog, you can just tell about your dog's days, what it does, how it annoys you sometimes, or how it makes you happy. Or use the cartoons. You can find lots of applications that can create those stripes, and it can be used also to create a story, right? You can show stunning photos, and this is where our books can be helpful, because almost each page in every book has these stunning photos that can be discussed over and over again. You can go back to that. You can ask different questions, right? So, for example, here is a task, very simple, present simple, right? So the presentation starts with this like, yeah, and they decide to talk about flowers. So what can the teacher do? The teacher can, I have just checked if there was some ideas. I still see your answers about doing something unusual. Yeah, you're right. That's how you can attract attention, right? Just, I don't know, turn the desk. I remember once I did this with maybe with fifth graders. I just rearranged the desks, and they came into the class, and the desks weren't in the order that the children were used to, and it helped me, and they were really quiet, they were calm, and the lesson was totally different from the previous lesson, just because I did something unusual for them. So what can you do? If we are going to drill this, I like flowers, you like flowers, something like that, right? Just bring a flower, right? You can take a plant from the windowsill, from the different classroom, something like that, right? Show it to your students, give them let them smell without touching this poor flower, of course, and say, yes, okay, look, it's a flower. I like flowers. Point to another student, say, you like flower, right? Then point to a girl and you say, she likes flowers. He likes flowers, and so on, point to the people in the street and something like that. So now they see the real flower, which everyone in the classroom likes. That's how we make it like meaningful, right? Hide it in the back and ask students to guess. This is again the option that is always like the winning. Guess what I have. It's beautiful. Yeah, give some hints. It smells good. Okay, I have to be careful. Yeah, what is it? Maybe just look at the words from the previous page. What can it be? Maybe it's a rock. Yeah, because the previous topic was to talk about nature. And then proceed with the presentation. Right, let's move on. What about this picture? What do you think it represents? What children skill it represents, or children characteristics? Hello to everyone who have just joined. Welcome, and I hope you are going to enjoy this. So what does this picture represent? They learn by doing. That is an object. Yeah, teamwork, trust. Yes, I see you're on the right track. Support. Actions. Right. Thank you for your ideas. So yeah, you are thinking in the right direction. And yeah, they need support and scaffolding by the teacher. What it means? It means that we give our students a little bit more that they can do at their level. But we don't just throw them in the water in order to teach them to swim. We lead them, we support them, we show them the example of how it should be done. And that's how they develop. Because if they do some tasks that they find easy all the times, I mean, it could be discouraging, because nothing difficult, right? Nothing that can be challenging. They don't see any challenges, they can lose their interest. That's why sometimes we give them something more difficult that they can do, but we help them, we give them all support that we can. Yeah, and it was a well-known fact. Lots of scientists, lots of linguists or psychologists were talking about that, right? So how can we do it? First, and let's refer to our previous slide. Yeah, we try to make our children interested in the task. Then we try, sometimes if it is difficult, we simplify it. We break it into smaller steps, right? Sometimes it's better to study, for example, just affirmative sentences, and that's all, and then move to negative sentences. When we do difficult tasks, so first let's do just the part of the exercise, then check it, see if the class understands or not, and then move to another part of the task. Just first, of course, we need to understand the words, so be sure that students understand what the sentences are about, and then move to grammar. Again, don't forget to point what was important. So in this exercise, we focus on grammar, right? If it is like or likes, yeah. So don't never stop reminding of this task is to practice this skill. Now let's focus on pronunciation, or now let's focus on the spelling, right? So the children, they can't analyze as much as we can do and as much as we think about our children they can do, right? So that's why some basics, some support before the task, they start doing the task independently, really leads to success. Yeah, demonstrate. This is more about projects, about more freer activities. And of course, so they need to see what we want them to do, right? If it's a project about the posture, just find a similar poster or maybe do it yourself. If it is an exercise, and all the books have these answers, examples where they see how the task should be done. So look at this task, explain, maybe do the first exercise, the first sentence together on the board, show them that you underline or you circle something. And this sounds, first of all, like, okay, it would be something very easy for them to do, but anyway, you just help them, you show them what you want from them, because sometimes, because the children, they need this, they need to see what we want from them, and in this way they will give us this. They can't read our minds, and they don't have so much experience of studying. They're just, it could be their just first year of studying, and they need to, for us it could be obvious, but for them it's the whole new world. So let's have a look at this page, right? Again, let's go back to our flowers. So we presented, we were discussing it a bit, right? Then let's, next exercise, right? You can see there are 6 sentences. I colored them in different colors because, again, to support, you can do the first 3 tasks together, first 3 sentences together, right? And again, you what I used to do with students is just we chanting this. I like something. I like flowers. You like flowers. He likes flowers. She likes flowers. Lots of the time, like, you know, like drilling. So we drilled as a class. Then we do it on like only person who I pointed at, then just girls and just boys, then this row of the student, then this part of the students, and so on. And again, every time, and then when we proceed to the exercises, and I see the students have some difficulties, we go back to this like, right? And okay, he likes, so, and they notice this S, and they will understand that, of course, S shouldn't be in the first sentence, but should be in the third one. So you do it together, you drilled it so many times, then give your students a chance to finish the rest of activity. And again, refer back, before checking, refer back to the rule, and or maybe again refer to the drilling, so the students can match what they have just learned to what they have just done, and like pay attention and check themselves, right? And again, here is a great activity when we have to talk about what we do every day. This way students see they can practice in a meaningful way. They have this real situation, they need to talk about their preferences, and the book gives us clear example. Don't skip this stage. Ask them to read this example. Pay attention to the blue words. Ask students in open pairs maybe how they can replace these blue words, so that's, and they understand that they need what they need to do, actually, right? Role play this dialogue, substitute, do some substitutional, maybe show them the pictures so they can substitute the blue words with new words. And then after that, after so much practice, they finally are ready to make the dialogues themselves, right? So first, lots of support, lots of clear examples of the perfect way, of the perfect picture, what should be done. And then students are ready to do that. Right, also here is just, again, something about support. It's quite obvious, right? They have to fill in the gaps with the letters, and of course to pay attention to them, to the grammar. So we have differences between I and he. Again, now they can do some simple comparisons and practice their grammar skills. And you can see that it's not just the line. These are the number of lines corresponds to the number of letters. So they, of course, they understand that I'm talking about the second column, he go, about go. So if they write go, they will definitely see that two more gaps are left. So, and it helps them, it supports them, it helps them to think that, okay, something is missing. What can be missing here, right? And in this way, they understand that grammar should be applied. Okay. Again, next one. When children learn, they learn by doing and interacting with their environment. What it means in the terms of learning language. First of all, lots of exposure. So you show them an example, you drill, you go back to it. Before you start showing grammar, the previous task, the previous lesson was probably something connected to present simple, if we are talking about that, right? Help them notice the grammar. You saw these red words, right? So help them, ask them the question. You see, like and likes are red. Do you see any differences? So there is a difference. I remember, like, my students, we always discussed that. So why do you think? They gave me different ideas. They don't always understand this from the first try. Yes, but you help them to notice. They may give you different options, but don't be like too critical, saying, okay, no, it's wrong. Yes, it's an interesting idea, but let's look. So you can point to yourself, I like, yeah, and then he likes. And in this way they will, yes. And I remember that I finished working at that school, but there were children who I was taught from the first grade up to the much older age. And then in some time, I met one girl. I had to help her with preparation, with exam preparation. And when we were talking about some rules, she stopped me and, okay, Diana, please stop. Let me guess. And it was like, I don't know, like honey for my ears, because yes, what I try to give to my students, that they have to be active, they have to try to notice. It helped, and they still do that, right? And also being active, interact with the environment. Learn by doing, it means lots of repetitions. This, if you stick to this structure that was in the book about the flowers, so do it, revise it several times, next lesson, and in a week or something like that. Then sometimes you go back to it. You start with this basic and then you can substitute the words. Let's have a look here. It's about the noticing. You can see here different verb. This is for all the students, not just the first grade. I mean, you can see this is for the third level, so it means the third or probably the fourth grade. So the students have to note the form. I go shopping. Do you like playing? Can speak. So sometimes we have ing ending, sometimes we have the infinitive. Children do not need to know what the infinitive means. This is for us, yeah, but we can help them to notice and to be active, but it requires some preparation. So here is a picture of some cards of paper slips. So you can copy or ask students actually to copy these sentences on the slips and then try to ask them to make groups. And they can make groups depending maybe on different abilities, but then you point to this word shopping, ing. So do all words have ing? No, let's try to make groups. They are active, they use their hands, they have just written the sentences, they try to understand the rule, and they will definitely memorize it. And we don't need to give them long explanation about this, that how and when we use ing form, right? You just practice on the basic verbs, and then you add to the rules, right? Again, active, interactive with the environments means lots of role playing, means lots of projects. For example, you can see the suggestion from the book, right? They prepare, yeah, they decide to mime different hobbies. They do it, then they complete the chart. So, and then they were really active, they were interested, this is something meaningful. It's not just some Jane who likes playing basketball. This is my classmate Vova who likes doing this, right? And after that, you can use this material in order to recall the grammar, right? So you can give them, you can write some words from the previous class, like can or like or good at, yeah, and ask the students to report using the words and what they have in their charts. This way, they were active. They are talking about something real, and in this way, they are more engaged, and it would be much more memorable. And again, we don't go back to the rules. We just do what we do with our own language. We give the situation where students actually learn own language in a game, right? The same way is here. It was a game, and now they need to report, right? And it can be done with different projects, with different grammar tasks. Songs, right? Most of the children like singing songs. And songs are a great way. Last webinar, I was talking about how songs can help us to teach children to read, and also we can use them to teach them grammar. Yeah, we run, we climb. Again, this is that present simple. We have fun outside. Yes, now try to substitute. You don't use we run, we climb, right? Let's talk about this girl. Yeah, she runs, she climbs, and ask to sing them. Yeah, do it quickly, do it slowly, do it in different moods. Now it's rainy today, so we can be sad, and let's talk about this girl, or show the picture of a sad boy. Yeah, let's substitute. So use the material that books give you in order to practice more language, right? And you will see that in this way we teach the students not just to sing the song, yeah, but to understand how the language works. So here we change something. And so this helps us to develop some thinking skills. And also, they repeated so many times because the songs have really catchy tune, so they will sing it. And as a bonus, probably you will meet your student after several lessons still singing your song, and believe me, this will happen. All right. So actually there was most of the ideas that I was going to share with you. I just want to read some of your comments in order to interact with you more. Yeah, you were talking about should be guided. So, yes, give them some scheme that they can refer to, right? So the book, you saw this scheme with like, right? And of course, teach them that at the end of the book, there are all the rules the students need. Work in pairs and question mark. I'm interested what Olena was asking. Working in pairs really necessary, because in this way we help students work together and talk not just to a teacher but talk to their peers, and most of the more children can speak at the same time. Of course, we need to teach this starting from the first lesson. Do not be afraid of this. Try to set yourself a goal that my students need to work in pairs. Show them how it would be done. Use puppets, maybe. First, you can split just class into the house, and group A and group B, they give them roles. Help students, monitor them, and never give up. In this way, you will help students. They will understand how to work in pairs. Give them some simple things, like one student points at something, another one says this. It's quite easy, but it's already pair communication. Teamwork. It was connecting to the picture. Songs. I use songs for all the students when we speak about grammar. Yeah, actually, this is a nice idea. Probably they know some lyrics. Somebody can't hear me. It's interesting. What about others? So they know some lyrics. They have some famous songs. So look at this song from the teacher's point of view. Erase some words, and they need and give this open the brackets activity using necessary grammar. Yeah, why not? Someone wrote me, just a second, author and the book or any other source of information was the percentage of memorizing the material you used in your presentation. Okay, Raisa, I will, I'm going to write down your name, and I will check the information, and probably I will ask you, but let's do it on Monday or maybe Tuesday. Thank you for your question. What I think about tests. I think tests is what helps us and what helps our students in the learning process. But students do not have to be afraid of the tests. It's better to explain them why they need tests, not just for their parents to be angry with them in case of bad mark, right? Maybe you can start with the test, and then they can and check it together with the class, so they can put pluses or correct the mistakes themselves. I think the test really can show us and give us understanding of how we need to build our work. Do we need to repeat something? Do we need to move on? If all the students or understand, or some of them need more tasks. So yes, I think tests are a great tool for a teacher, but when they are not frightful. You can't see the questions because here there is no chat box. There is only the question mark, so you can ask questions. I can read them, but I don't. But it's not like a chat box. Okay. So it was the exercises, the rules were from the book that is called Wonderful World, 2nd edition. And on our site, you can find something that supports our teachers. So lesson plans for the first level, first lessons, how to introduce language, how to present the material, how to start prepare students to work in pairs. Also, there are some picture cards and finger puppets that can be used in order to make some dialogues. Right? This is just in what I was talking about at the beginning, that there are some sounds, and so the book focuses on the clear pronunciation and how the letters work, how they are pronounced. So not just W makes the sound work, but also WH as in whale, right? So the students can practice reading and speaking. Again, certificates, if you hear this, it means that you're definitely going to get the certificate within some time, and they are created automatically, and the program send them out to all who visited the webinar. We were talking about the question. Now I see that we are a bit out of time. That's why, anyway, if you have some questions, you have my email. Yeah? If you really have something that you would like to talk about, to discuss, so do not hesitate, write me, invite me to your school to have some interesting conversation. I will show you what we have, our new titles, how to work with the books, and so like I'm always happy to meet real teachers, not just from like to know that you are listening to me, but to see you. And one more, and by the way, just in a minute, I'm going to tell something very interesting for you. So if you haven't logged out yet, please wait. Yeah, so this is, first of all, this is our training center. If you're interested in professional development, you can do it constantly. There are so many chances for the teachers, and our company, Lingvist, found the best professionals in their field who prepare really useful seminars, handy, with lots of practice, with lots of up-to-date information. You can see the site where you visited or the phone, so you can call them and ask what they suggest to find something that you really need. And someone was asking about these certificates, if they are permitted for professionals, that they have license. So according to our webinars, you're going to receive the certificate with the date, with the topic, with the number of hours that you spent here. And I know the training center now is working a lot in order to make this certified certificate, so the teacher, it would be counted as the professional development that requires from the ministry. Again, you can ask about this if you call, or if you write them, you can see their address, their email, their phone. So please join us, join them. I think that it would be the next step for your career. And now, I was talking about that, about our online component for Ukraine, but this is not what I wanted to tell you right now. Again, have a look at the books. That's what we recommend for young learners. They have Ministry of Education permission to be used from the 1st up to the 6th grade. And they give real clear structure and great examples of how language works. Now, next week we are going to announce it everywhere, but you are now the first who know this information. So we are going to announce our competition for teachers and for students, so together, in our cooperation. We would like to bring world into the classroom, as National Geographic does, and that's why it would be interesting for us to know about different dishes, about different customs from all over the world. So the task for the teachers and for their students is to investigate some national dish for the New Year or for Christmas, depends on the country, right? And try to cook it and prepare some video instruction. So it could be a great New Year project for you as a teacher, and you can engage your students very much, and also make the video of it and send to me. We are going to choose 5 winners who are going to get really valuable prizes. Another option, it's probably from younger children, but it's up to you. We don't have these requirements according to the age. You can just create interesting Christmas card and again make a video of how of the instructions, how it can be done, and send again this video to us. So you choose either dish, either card, what is either what you find more interesting, and send us the video. This is all I can tell you now. All the information about where you submit your videos, about the dates, about how we evaluate, how we choose the winners, are going to be presented next week. So check the Facebook page, check Lingvist site for updates, and also there are going to be some informational emails about that. So don't miss this chance to win something very valuable and to have fun with your students and to show them that English, not just the book, English is something real, something that can be interesting and engaging. I remind you that certificate you are going to get at the end within several days. So be patient, you will definitely get them. Again, this is my contact information. Write me, phone me, call me, ask me any questions. And thank you very much for spending time today. So hope to see you, to talk to you next month. Have a good Friday evening and good weekends. Goodbye.